Welcome to the third video on C++. In this video we are going to look at variable declaration and assigning values to variables. So let's start here. So in this line we declare a variable var1 which is of type integer. Int stands for integer. Integer variables take 4 bytes of memory in the memory and holds and the range of an integer can be between -2 billion to +2 billion. So if you don't initialize a variable, then if you try to read that read the value in the 4 bytes where it is allocated, where the compiler allocated a memory for this variable, then it may give you any random value, but the newer compilers give you an error. So you can try it yourself. If you uncomment this line of code and then if you try to build the program, it will give you an error. So here it gives you an error. So the newer compilers don't allow you to access a variable that is not initialized. So now you commented this line, and if you try to build the program, it builds fine. So now let's run it. So in this line we declare a variable var1 of type integer type, and that holds takes 4 bytes of memory in the computer memory, and in this line we assign value of 10 to var1. So at this, after executing this line, the var1 has a value of 10, and if you try to print the var1 here, var1 equals var, so you can see var1 equals 10. So at this line the variable 1 has a value of 10, and now in this line what we do is we take variable 1, the value that is in the variable 1, and add another 10 and assign that to variable 1. So we read variable 1, which is 10, and 10 plus 10 is 20. So now the new value in var is 20. So here you have 20, and then what we do is we declare a char variable. In C++ there are a number of built-in types. The first type is the integer, and then character. Character takes only 1 byte of memory, and the range is between -128 to +128. A char can also be a constant character, like /t means tab character. There are other characters defined in C++. These are the predefined characters. /a means beep sound, /b means backspace, /f means form field, /n means a new line character. If you want to print for example, if you want to print a new line character, so you type /n, which will take the control to the new line, or print a new line character. /r means a return, /t means a tab space, and slash means it prints a backslash on the screen. Slash semicolon is a quotation mark. It prints a single quotation, and then this prints a double quotation. /xdd means a hexadecimal notation. So these are all example characters predefined in the C++ language. So now if we here we assign tab character to my char variable, and then we print my char. So my char is a tab character, so it prints a tab space. That's why you get a small space in here. And then we go to declare a variable v4 of type short. Short occupies only 2 bytes in the memory and ranges between -32,768 to +32,767. if you print the size of, you can get the size of a short by typing int size of command and then within bracket short. Then it will, what it does, it takes the size of short and converts that to int. So what you get is 4 bytes. A short sorry, a short has a two, so size of short equals 2 bytes, so it prints 2 bytes here. And then you declare a long variable of name long var and assign 100 to this long variable. A long variable on a 32 byte system, computer system occupies 4 bytes. So if you want to check the number of bytes taken by your computer program, you can type size of long size of within bracket long and convert that to, cast that to an int. So what it prints 4. A long normally takes 4 bytes of memory space to store the value. And in this line we declare a float variable of name var2 and assign that to assign 1.9 to this variable var2. You can, when you declare a variable, either you can assign a value, or you don't, or you can just declare it and then later you can assign it. But it's better to assign when you declare a variable. For example, assign 0 to all the variables when they are declared. That's a better programming practice to avoid any runtime errors. So the float takes 4 bytes of memory and ranges from 3.4 into 10 to the power minus 38 to 3.4 into 10 to the power plus 38. A double variable takes 8 bytes of memory and it varies from 1.7 into 10 to the power minus 308. It's a really huge value to 1.7 into 10 to the power plus 308. So this is a really big double. If you declare a double variable, it takes 8 bytes of memory and it can take a really wide range of value. And then in C++ you can also define a constant type variable. So if you put a const in front of a variable, that means this variable doesn't change. The value of this variable cannot be changed throughout the entire program. So in the entire program, pi will have 3.14 and it cannot be changed. And if you try to change it, assign a different value to pi, then the compiler will give you an error. And then there's another type, bool. Boolean takes two value, either true or false, or 0 or 1. So here we declare a variable bool var and assign 1 to that variable, and then we return 0. So that's all. So when you compile a C++ program, what happens is that the compiler compiles your C++ code and creates an object code. So the and then the linker takes the object code and the library functions to create an executable file. So there are two executing a C++ program has two steps. First one is the compiling, and then linking. So in the compiling process, it takes the C++ program and converts that to an object file, and then the linker takes the object file and combines that to the library functions to create an executable file. That is how you compile and create an executable file from a C++ program. Thank you very much, and we'll see you in the next video.